So either way, we're back here on the show. Next to me is Keenan Carroll. Let's hear it for Keenan, everybody! Oh, yeah.
How are you?
So welcome, Keenan. So
Thank you.
We'll do one of these.
I
don't
prefer
shake
it.
hands
I
on the
mean,
show, really, but
Hey,
it was
you
nice.
know, it's
We're
preferable.
friends.
I like the respect.
Yeah. So Keenan, we've known each other a good bit. You lived with me.
I did, yes.
And we've known each other a long time, but you've been on the radio show version of this. You've been on a few different versions of this. We're here talking about metal. Tell me a little bit about what you do involved in the metal. What are your sort of credentials?
Credentials.
Yeah. What do you got going on?
Bring all of your. What is the Jesus phrase? I actually don't even remember.
Jesus.
Bring all your lame,
Yeah.
your terrible people. Bring your prostitutes.
Yeah.
Bring everybody.
You're
Drug
sick
users.
and you're poor and you're dead.
Bring drug use. You know,
Yeah.
these are my layman's terms. I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I dig
Drug
it.
users. You
So
know.
you're a shepherd
alcoholics.
of outcasts, is what you're
shepherd
saying.
of that. Thus, Lord Almighty.
There you go.
That's
Lord
you know
Almighty.
we
So-
shepherd all
So
of
perfect
the people.
segue. Keenan is in a band called Lord Almighty. You should check them out on the internet right now. You can open up another tab and keep us open. So Lord Almighty.
Or close this one.
Or no, don't. Come on, Keenan, man. Come on.
I'm kidding.
So Lord Almighty, you guys have been playing for how long?
I believe we are about 5 years old now, though.
Ooh.
I can't really
See,
remember.
that's the sweet spot. I feel like with bands, 5 years is the sweet spot where you all are synced up or you all hate each other. So you're either gonna like break up completely or you're gonna be tight till the end. And
It comes in fives. Everything comes in fives. So it's like your 5 year is when you start really getting going.
Yep.
Then your 10 year is like when it's like, man, you're fucking professional,
Truth.
and you need to be
Truth.
really good.
Yeah.
But then your 15 year,
Yeah.
I feel like that's like one of the deadlines of like, hey, I've been doing this for 15 years and we have nothing. All right, maybe I should do something else.
Yep, definitely true, definitely true. We
Gotta
will
switch
get
up
into
your
how
army.
you should quit doing that later in the show. But either way, so we're talking about metal. How did you first get into metal? So for me, I've always felt like not a soy boy, because I kind of find that term really mean. You never heard that term?
I don't.
So,
What does that mean?
soy boy? We'll talk later. We'll
Okay,
talk.
all
You
right.
can use Urban Dictionary, internet, if you're watching. Look up soy boy. Explain it in the comments. But
right.
either way, I've never felt tough enough for metal. I don't know. I'm intimidated.
Okay.
I like certain metal, but I think for me, I don't know. I really don't know. I just haven't given it the
here's
chance.
the thing.
I think.
I feel like a lot of people, they grow up listening to metal if
Yeah.
that is the thing of choice, and that is what helps them become hard.
Yeah.
As you know, so like realistically though, we were all soft when we got into it. There was no like nobody who was just got into it hard, you know.
Well, you're right, because I always say that, nobody's born a hipster. Everybody has to understand that people are posers sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody's born out of the womb, like, with, like a metal shirt on or, like, a Sonic Youth. You're not born
Depends
cool.
on your parents.
Or Skid
Depends
Row,
on-
for that matter.
Yeah, that's true. It does say Skid Row. There you
Doesn't
go.
mean they were hard though.
No, it doesn't mean they were hard. If anybody has been birthed and came out with a metal t-shirt on, please let us know. We would love to hear about that.
Send the pictures.
Send the pics.
That's very
yeah, pics.
important.
But yeah, so I think, like you're saying, it's people are growing up with it. For me, I grew up with a weird mixed bag of music, but metal just wasn't in there. I feel like I missed even classic rock. Like
Yeah.
Amanda will tell you, she introduced me to Led Zeppelin like 3 years ago, and it's like that's a boat I just missed for so long. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you were born after in the first place, so
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
it's like
Same here.
It's like it depends on your parents,
That's true.
realistically, and so like like my mom, she. So I guess that's where it started. She was always in classic rock. We did everything, and we'd play this game like, oh, who's this band who just came on, and I would have to remember. But then I had the weird uncle
Yeah.
who was into the heavier shit.
Yeah.
And he was
Everyone's
the
got a weird
guy who
uncle,
gave
man.
me, burned CDs back in the day were very popular. He
Oh,
was the
yeah.
guy,
The
know.
bootlegs, the sneaky stuff?
He was the guy
That's
who
cool.
introduced me to metal.
See, my uncle tried, but the way he tried to get me into metal was I was 13,
Yeah.
and Saint Anger had just come out, and he goes,
No!
Andrew, this is real metal.
No!
This is the album. This is real
It's
metal. You gotta
over.
listen to this. And then I was like, nah.
I hate to
As-
say it, but your uncle,
He fucked me up.
he was wrong.
He gave me the wrong
He was
intro.
wrong.
Yeah.
I don't like talking shit on other people's
No,
families.
you can talk shit on my
Neither do
uncle. It's
I.
cool. But yeah, so I mean, I think that's really a good way to say it. Is it's sort of what you're introduced to with anything. If
Yeah,
you're sort of coming at it from the outside with no sort of like little ramp in, like a little intro, you're not going to know what you're getting yourself into.
For sure.
Well, you know, other things in metal that I really find interesting is, you know, there's a great community behind metal and metal music. So I see like metal shows are very supportive. Metal bands will always have each other's backs. And I also think there's this sort of like where there's rock and roll and indie music, and that's sort of like an easily palpable like genre. You know what I mean? Like most independent music is in this vein of you can see it at a bar, you can go dance to it, you can go out and enjoy it.
For sure.
Metal, of course you can dance to it, of course you can enjoy it if it's your type of music, but Joe Schmo on a Tuesday night with his date isn't going to walk in Central Square to, you know, like, oh, I hear some blast beats. Maybe some people are like that. I'm not trying to generalize. But what do you think is different about like metal music communities? Like, what do you think that's interesting?
I mean, like, again, it's like people get in young. People really, you know. Here's the thing. So let me put it this way.
Yeah.
I recently found this YouTube channel. Is it okay if I plug a
Plug
YouTube
other
channel?
YouTube channels here.
Okay,
We love
great.
it. Plug whatever you
Great.
want.
These two guys, Lost in Vegas. And
Yeah.
it's like, I just stumbled across it. It's two hip-hop guys, and they literally just go through and unbiasedly listen to all sorts of metal music and things like that. And here's the thing: is I think that it's just like people are evolving to look to things, and if it has a groove, that's where it lays down. So it's like you can go in, and I agree with you. If like somebody just like heard a black metal band, like a Norwegian black metal band from the street, they'd be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna check that out. I don't like metal. That's not for me." But if it has a groove, like something like Gojira, you know, and they hear that from the street, they may be very much more likely to be like, you know what? That has a beat. I can dance to that.
That's
I'm
true.
in to check out what this new experience is. Because I feel like our culture's been moving towards that. A lot of young people have been like, oh, I like to go out to different restaurants, experience different atmospheres.
Adventures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you stumble across these things.
And I think you're right. And I think something I always enjoyed about your music, Keenan, if I could say, is that you did have that sort of, like, your riffs are catchy. Your riffs are like earworms. Like, it's like.
Can I say that it's not okay that you told me that?
No, it's not. Is it ruined? I just ruined
you know,
your own music for you?
I'm just kidding. No, I really appreciate it.
I enjoy
Thank
that.
you.
And I think that's, for me, when I would listen to your band, because, you know, I mean, we lived with each other when you were first starting the band. And so I heard all your recordings starting out.
You heard the riffs before I even had the band really going.
Yeah, you were just starting to learn to sing, I think, when we were living in Lower Alston.
Yeah.
Taking you back to the woods.
Yeah.
Dude, Back to the Woods was the first song I wrote.
There you go. I remember you writing it, riffing in Lower Alston with the shitty landlord.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get rid of bed bugs. We didn't have bed bugs, I swears. But yeah, so I really appreciate you coming in, Keenan. So Lord Almighty, you can find him online. Look up Keenan's band. You got any shows coming up?
So we have a new album that is in the process right now. So we are kind of like laying back at the moment.
So you're in the build-up stage.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
So keep your ears to the ground. Maybe you'll hear the rumble of Lord Almighty coming your way. So look up Lord Almighty on Facebook. Find him. Keenan's going to hang out here for the rest of the show.